Hi, this is Lohan, Sifu Lance Brazil SFG. Today we're going to cover more in depth about the squat to overall improve your mobility. So what W.I.T.S here is going to help with the demonstrations. What he's going to do is, by starting off with the squat, is separate the feet about shoulder width apart. He's going to do 3 hops, okay? The 3 hops, the reason for that is by the 3rd time, your body goes into a correction stabilization mode. So by that position, you should be able to look down at your feet, and pretty much this is where your squat and where your feet position for a proper squat could be, especially when you're using weight. This is generally where your feet want to be. Okay? Now from here, with the actual squatting as itself, okay, is the prying is very important. So the knees are going to pry outward, and then followed by the hips. So you're always going to pry, feet curl on the floor, weight on the heels, pry those knees out because you want to strengthen the glutes, strengthen the inner thigh. This is the totality. You don't want to just go down with the motion. So when W.I.T.S here, he's going to start with his hips, and he's going to push those knees out as he comes down, keeping the weight on the heels. And he's going to go as low as he can comfortably. Generally, over time, this is what you're going to achieve, is getting your butt all the way to the ground as you can comfortably. But if you can't go that low, so when he comes up, okay, now when he goes back down, so if he goes, and if he gets, so when he goes back down, just stop like halfway or so. Some people, this is as good as they can, because this is okay. As long as they're not feeling pain in the knees, that's the cue. Because if you're trying to go all the way down and you're losing balance and you're getting pain in the knees, that's a cue, an indicator to not do that. You gotta wait till you get that progression. Okay, prying of the knees is generally that huge indicator that you're not doing if your knees are hurting, okay, from that. Okay, now what we're going to cover with the squat is proper mobility testing. Once again, mobility is the combination of strength and flexibility. Okay, this is the great test to figure out where your squat is at, and all you need is a wall. Everybody has a wall. So with here, right now W.I.T.S has like a slight fist distance footing. You challenge it by getting close to the wall as you can. So what W.I.T.S is going to put his weight on his heels, his toes are going to be the counterbalance, and he's going to sink his hips as he rotates down. And from here, the cue is try not to touch the wall as best you can, and then when he's ready, you can come on up, nice and controlled. Feeling that heel make contact. Okay, now from here, he's going to challenge it even more, so he's going to get closer to the wall, so he's probably going to have to widen your feet out even more. Okay, all right, and give it a try. So the key is to practice this stuff, okay? It's a skill, so it must be practiced, and you always challenge it and test it out. The minute you feel any unneeded pain in the knees, don't do it. It's just clear as day, okay? That's what that's telling you. And if you get farther back, you always just challenge it, just by how far you get to the wall, okay? And just go ahead. Okay, and up. And as you notice how his feet were, like you might have to bow him out just a bit, but the big indicator when he squats down again is making sure that knee, the patella, the front of the kneecap is tracking the toes, if not going out. You never want that knee to buckle inward, so buckle it in, do it the other way. This is what you don't want to do, okay? W.I.T.S is strong, so you can handle that, okay? But you always want to pry that out. Using the glutes, using that, and using the inner thigh muscle as possible. The toes are what's counterbalancing, and this is going to help develop feet strength and calf strength when doing this correctly. Okay, you come on up, sir. And that would cover the squat test. Okay, now going back on to squatting drills to actually complete the overall squat to get the most benefit out of it is what we wanted to accomplish. So we're going to use a weight on this particular one, and W.I.T.S can demonstrate how to properly pick up a kettlebell into what we call a goblet squat. Okay, so you get up in that position. What he's going to do before he even engages is, this is what's a tough love technique. Make sure it's okay with your partner to do so. As you get and give them taps. Okay, make sure their abs are engaged. Make sure their glutes are engaged. This is what's going to protect the lumbar spine. Make sure the quads are engaged, and make sure the feet are engaged. And weight's on the heel. So when he performs a squat now. Okay, and when he comes up, he's going to give a little hop sound. So when he comes up, and that's what's going to keep this engaged, the follow through to initiate that squat. doing again? Squeeze, squeeze the body. Squeeze.
Squeeze squat.
Squeeze.
Squeeze.